Is Amazon peak season already started this year? I'm getting ready to go get in that big blue truck and find out. So am I ready to say that peak season has started? I mean, my only hesitation in doing that is I have so little experience. I've been doing Amazon for 2 years, and the last 2 years, peak season really hasn't started until after Black Friday. Today's Friday, we still have another week to go until Black Friday. Now, if it has already started, I'm excited about it. I mean, hey, I'll take these rates now. I'll, squeeze an extra week out of this. I kind of hate making content around time where it is peak time, because if you know anything about me, you know I'm trying to make consistent money with Amazon year round. Of course, during peak, anybody can kind of fall out of bed, make some money with them. I just don't, I like showing the real picture of what Amazon is. I'm pretty sure I set this thing up right. As opposed to like, hey, let me just show you when it's good. I try to showcase both the good and the bad. What has me thinking that, if we look back at like the last 3 months, the last quarter basically, in order for me to break $1,000, it's involved one of two things. If I'm gonna stay in San Diego, it's required me to do about 5 hours of load board watching, strategically picking loads that kind of, don't overlap, that I know I can get done. And so it's involved like, at least like 5 hours of load board watching. Or the second kind of thing that has to happen is, say I pick up a decent San Diego one and tie that together with a load up north, going either to like LA, Ontario, San Bernardino. So one of those two things has to be true in order for me to break that $1,000 barrier type of thing, which I do break it, but it just one of those two things has to be true. What made tonight unique was I slept in late with the anticipation of working, got up around like 3:30 and started paying attention to the load board. I booked 3 very local loads within about a 30-minute time span, staying in San Diego. So only 30 minutes of load board watching, roughly. I mean, give or take a minute or two, but 30 minutes of load board watching, and I had $1,000 booked on the books. I know in trucking, we're never supposed to say it's easy. It's not. I mean, there's still a lot that could go wrong tonight. I mean, one of these loads could go long. I could be late to a pickup, and I can't use that, oh, a prior Amazon stop made me late to this stop. You can't use that anymore. But considering that, like, I'm used to, watching this for 5 hours, I was able to do in 30 minutes what used to take, what historically takes me 5 hours, I was able to do in 30 minutes. It's like, man, is this peak? I mean, because this kind of feels like peak numbers. And so basically, I set the first one up. It's 8:10 right now. That one starts at about 10 o'clock tonight. It was like a little $11 mile running up to DSD4 and back. I think I take a trailer from like San 3 to San 5. The second one I booked was so I think that one ends at like 1 or 1:30. They're finally paying a decent rate to go to this third-party site, this TIJ5. It takes about 2.5, 3 hours, so I think their total payout on it was like $350, something like that. And it's like, okay, well, that's accounting for the time it's going to take. Yes, I'll sign up for that. And then the last one was just, they had it set on there for a 5:30 pickup time, but it had an adjustable pickup time, and I changed the pickup time to like 7:30 so that I would get down here about this time and basically like kind of just get paid to come down here. It's my lowest paying per mile load that I took, but I liked it for a couple reasons. One, it just basically pays me to go from my house, which is in East County, down here, and the way I get to avoid that toll road. So I kind of see it as like not having to pay that toll. Yes, it's only $5.50, but it's at a $5.50 opportunity cost that I don't have to pay tonight. So you can kind of, in my mind, I don't know if it makes sense to you, but in my mind, it's like I kind of feel like I save $5.50 tonight, so we can add that to the take. I'm not going to do that, but it's just the way that my mind works. I'm looking at everything as far as like, looking at every dollar, every cent I charge, I pay to do all this. So excited about that. I'm basically, this is the time of my night where I'm booked out, I think, until like 4:30 or 5. Let's see what my schedule ends. That other one is supposed to drop off at 6:30. I'm willing to bet I finish that. But basically, the DSD4 down to San 5 is done. What I'm waiting for right now, I'm giving this about 20 more minutes of just seeing, do they move the trailer across the street? Wouldn't that be sweet? But what I have to be aware of is if they drop one, it has to be scheduled to be done before 10 or 10:01, whenever that next one starts. Otherwise, if I were to book it, I'd be an ineligible driver. So I'm going to sit here for like 20 minutes, see if they drop one that has if they drop one of those that ends before 10 o'clock, and I could book it and be an eligible driver and maybe add another $170 to $250 depending on what they're paying. If not, I'm just going to head down to San 3 and start this next load around 10 o'clock. All right, let's go ahead and start this next load. Head on over to San 3. Even if they dropped, they haven't dropped one, it's been about 30 minutes. Even if they dropped to move the trailer across the street, it would be starting at, let's say, 9. If they book it out for an hour and a half, that's not getting done till 10:30. There's no point in continuing to watch this. If I'm going to sit and wait, I might as well just sit and wait in their yard. I did do the screen record at 8:01. I did it at 8:02, actually verifying that the trip was still there, so that way if they do cancel it, I can prove it was within 2 hours and they owe me a Tonu. But as of right this second, it's not canceled. So let's go ahead and start this work. I am bringing my tractor. We're good to go. Let's head over to Sand 3. I'm getting bobtailed from Sand 3, and there's a problem at the gate. I got checked in here, definite problem at the gate. Let's turn this light on so you can see me. And it's kind of sad. There's a guy out here, he's walking around, he's behind me in the truck, he's out here bartering with the other guys. He's like, man, I'm double booked, I gotta get out of here. And it's just like, I've been in his shoes, I feel bad for him. But you know, it's one of those things. This is why you never book a load until you're on the other side of the yard, because it's like, you know, you see like 3-4 trucks in line, you think, oh, this is only gonna take 2-3 minutes. He's up there talking to him. I mean, I hate to seem like I'm bashing the guy. I've been in those shoes. I never again will I fall for the trap of booking a load and being a hostage of the yard and then being determined on all Amazon stuff working perfectly. He just ran by me. We're getting ready to move up a little bit, but I wish the best for him. So I'm not double booked, but my thread in the needle tonight is going to come down to, I just pulled in the gate at Sand 5 and my region light just came on. Shows you how many of these like little trips, hostler gigs I've been doing. I usually, that region light typically doesn't come on when I'm out doing my normal day-to-day stuff, but when Amazon offers these little loads staying in town, I find myself having to regen that truck. It never gets to the appropriate temperature, I think, to burn off whatever it needs to burn off, but you can hear the truck. The truck sounds angry over here. Just doing the regen. My departure time is not until 11. It is 9:03 right now, so I think that regen's probably gonna take about 45 minutes. Hopefully they don't have my trailer ready for me, but in case they do, I can technically not leave here till 11. It's not gonna take that long, but gonna finish this little regen and keep this night rolling. All right, DSD4 has given me permission to cut the seal on the back. I'm docking this at 102. They do not have an empty trailer, said it's gonna be about half an hour, so we're gonna feed Lou and walk him. All right, Lou, you want some chiote? You know that word, huh? Do you know what chiote is? Why do we call it chiote? Because your puppy formula says chiote. It's like French. So anytime you hear the word chiote, you know it's food. You're dripping. Look at the drips on the floor already. Oh no, you can sit in the seat. Get in the seat. Come on. You can sit in the seat. I'll feed you. Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What a good boy. What a good boy. This is your special EN diet. Enteric, gastroenteric. Because no bulldog can just eat normal food. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You eat from a fork? A plastic fork. What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. Who's a good boy? We gonna go for a walk when we're done? Out here walking Lou for his little post-meal walk. Interesting situation when I pulled up. I'm not one to kind of throw a camera on somebody, but you know, pulled up, was waiting for Doctor 102, and like I was just like sitting in front of it. In the first couple minutes, I'm like, okay, he's getting his stuff together, you know, BOL, whatever. A couple more minutes go by, and it's like he's just sitting there. Finally, I got out and I went up to him, and I'm like, what's going on with this trailer? Is it going? He goes, oh yeah, I'm waiting on a callback from ROC. He couldn't get the trailer to attach, and so he was waiting on his callback from ROC at the dock door. And I just politely asked him, I'm like, is there any way, you know, you're going to take this trailer, is there any way you could pull this out of the way, because I need to get this in 102? And he agreed, and so it all worked out well. But I don't mean to I hate to like out people, because God knows I showed up to do this kind of work very untrained, but sitting at a dock door, blocking a dock door, waiting for a callback to ROC, probably not the thing to do. But he got it moved. Lou ate, Lou went for his walk, and we're gonna get back to the truck and take an empty back down to Sand 5. You know what makes me think it's not peak is that there's not a long line of trucks out here. Usually, I mean, during peak times in the past, it's usually backed up here all the way to Otay Mesa Road. I mean, there's 3 trucks in line. That's nothing, but that kind of makes me think it's not peak. Let's go ahead and grab this arrival successfully detected. Boom. Let's go check into Sand 5. All right, now that Sand 5 is switched to these screens, let's check out of Sand 5, only to check back into Sand 5. As soon as this thing opens the gate for me, I'm gonna start work for the next one and be ready to grab that arrival successfully detected. And since I'm here, it's gonna tell me you've arrived.
Please wait while we're connecting you with the new.
Maybe somebody will talk to me. Hello.
Hello, hi, how are you? Please start off your internet activity space.
All right, thank you.
Step on half the time.
Thank you. I actually really don't know what they just said to me. I think I heard "have a nice day" in there, and if there was a question, I obviously didn't answer it. Let's go ahead, turn the screen record on. Start work for what is in theory my last load. Start work. I am bringing this tractor. No, next. Turn off my hazards, my four-way flashers. I have a tendency to still call things what I called them in cars. Arrival successfully detected out here already. Make the right turn and go talk to the inbound screen at Sand 5 and get this third load going. All right, just grabbed that arrival successfully detected at 2:07. Sand 3 has a screen. I'm not due here until 5:28. This load is done 7-8 minutes after it was supposed to start. So obviously got to jump on it. Question's gonna be is, it's an empty trailer. Will they let me drop it off? Or are they gonna make me babysit it for an hour and a half? Technically, I could be here as early as like 3:30, but I think 2 is pushing it. I'm still gonna try. And if I have to babysit it, I have to babysit it. If they let me drop it off, we can start looking for load number 4. Drop it off at parking slip 310. This load is done 3.5 hours early with a screen. Out of Sand 3's yard, back down here to the Chevron, getting ready to go inside and see what that coffee's looking like. Not that I'm tired, but this is that time in the night where it's like, I'm either gonna get a second wind or I'm gonna go home. I don't know, that other load wasn't supposed to end for like 3 more hours, so I'm thrilled they let me drop that off. They've got some, I mean, I've got this load board dialed down to see exactly what I want to see. I'll turn on screen record here. There's more loads than this, but I put a lot of filters in there. They just dropped these Sand 5 to East Vales, $4.37 a mile. I mean, that sounds good, But right now they've been sending for about that same money. They've been sending local loads here in town, and it's like, would I rather get 524 with the risk of not getting anything coming back? Or, because I mean, you know, if I drive up there for 437 and bobtail back, that 437 quickly turns into about 218 a mile. And I mean, I still make that work, but you know, I'd rather get like a San 5 to Poway and back, or a San 5 to DSD1. So that's kind of what I'm holding out for. There are loads on the board. I could take them right now, adjustable pickup times. I'm just kind of holding out for something a little bit better, I guess. But gonna go in here, get the coffee, take Lou for another little walk, and if I get that fourth load, I'll check in with you. Load number 4. I was down here playing around with that relay bot. They had the load on there for like 5 something, and I'm like, well, would you do 650? And they're like, we would do, I think it came back with like 641, and it was like, oh, that's close, but I just don't like it when it like tries to nickel and dime me. And it's like, so I said no. And so then I waited and waited, and they bumped it up to like 650. And so at that point I come on and I'm like, hey, would you do 700? Like, this is I'm putting my shoes on here. Like, if we're playing a game, I'll play the game. And so I asked for 700, and it's like, no, you need to justify the reason. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll pass on 700. And then I kept sitting here. They just bumped the time back from 3:30 to 4:30, and when they did it, they bumped it up. I'll screenshot this, but I just booked this for 7:59. So I mean, I like saying that, like, hey, patience sometimes pays off. Sure, somebody else could have booked it, but it's like, I'll take it for 7:59. So I'm just gonna get myself thrown together and head over to San 5 and get this up to Eastville. Load number 5. The fact that I have this paperwork redirecting me to another site should tell you something. If it doesn't tell you something, I'll tell you exactly what happened. This was going to be a little empty trailer move. I was kind of looking for loads going back home or staying local up here. Found a quick little, basically like the Moreno Valley version of move the trailer across the street. Little 2-mile run, paying like $180. Went to ONT8, and they're like, oh, we don't have empties. They kind of start shuttling me around to all these different places. Long story short, it's going to get canceled. So I don't know if you really want to call it load number 5 or load number 4 1/4, but anyway, it's like $180 for doing the work, $175 for getting canceled. What I'm doing right now is I got the phone. I'll screenshot this to show it to you. Load canceled by site. The problem is here is they have one of the sites I checked into, they actually like assigned me a trailer. I'll just screen record this. So right now it's telling me to go to parking slip 411B and pick up an Amazon empty. It's got a trailer attached to it. If I go to this little question mark, now if it didn't say this, if I normally go to this little question mark and there'd be something that comes up and says no trailers, get a call back from ROC, hopefully they cancel it. The fact that they've assigned me this trailer number, my only option in here is to go in here and say report issue, schedule adjustment or cancellation, load canceled by site, and you can see I'm waiting for a callback. The next callback I do, I'm going to record. I don't typically like doing this. I just got some guy from ROC who called me, and he was all too quick to hang up on me. I was talking to him, and he goes, I'm not getting a response from you. I'm going to end the call. I'm not getting a response from you. I'm going to end the call. I'm not getting, and then he just hung up, and it was like, you ass. He was, I knew he heard me because he was pausing when I talked, and he was all too quick to hang up the phone. So I'm time barred from doing another callback request. I'm a little heated over that, but whatever, we're going to record the next one. So anyway, waiting on the next callback. I'll check in with you there.
Or recorded to improve our products and services. Visit Amazon.relay to learn about our privacy commitments. A short survey follows this call. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm calling you from Amazon ROC. You requested a callback. I have your Virid 978 Mobile. Are you the driver?
That is me. Yes, I'm both. I'm the driver and the dispatcher.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, what's going on?
So, you know, I showed up to the site, and they didn't have any empties. They sent me to an alternate site, and they said that they're not going to have any empties all day long. And so, unfortunately, how they have me checked into, when I go to, like, resume work, usually there's an option on there that says no trailers, but it's coming up with, like, a fictitious trailer number, so I can't do the no trailers option, but basically it's been canceled by the site.
Okay. Let me go ahead
appreciate it. Thank you.
One second here. Of course. Is there anything else that you need?
No, you're wonderful. I got hung up on by a couple other people. They claimed they couldn't hear me. I'm assuming you can hear me fine?
I mean, I called you the first time, and I don't know if you answered or not, but I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, okay.
And then I hung up, and then I called you again, and it worked.
Got it.
So,
All right, perfect. It must be a bad connection then.
all right, sounds good. I just canceled it. You're good to go.
Let me just be sure it's canceled. Okay, it's canceled.
Sure.
I just want to check my work queue, and I want to check my trips.
Okay.
I had one the other day that got hung up in my trips thing. Perfect. I do see it's canceled in both. I appreciate your help. Send me to the survey. I have nothing but good things to say.
All right, sounds good. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Was the agent you spoke with able to answer the question or resolve the issue you
Hell
Please
yes.
rate your experience
5.
with our Amazon. Thank you for participating in our survey. Goodbye.
All right. So even with the cancellation, it's been a while since I put up over $2,000 in a night staying local. I don't know, you might have to ask like a more experienced trucker. Is coming up to Ontario still local? The way I gauge that is, do I sleep in my bed at home every day? And that's where I'm heading now. So unless something crazy, I mean, I'd consider this local work, but you know, to be able to put together $2,000 over a night, am I willing to say that like it's peak time? I mean, the numbers are there. The problem is that the daytime numbers are not. Usually with peak, it's pretty solid, 24 hours a day. So I'm not quite ready to say it's peak time yet. We would be getting like a week jump on this. Usually it happens after Black Friday, but I'm heading home to go to sleep unless something crazy is going on in San Diego. You know, if there's an opportunistic load like a Poway, Vista, DSD4 going back down to San 3, I'll probably pick that up. But if right now, as of right this second, I will screenshot this. It's 9:02, no future loads assigned. So I have nothing. I'm heading home. If I pick something else up, I'll check back in with you. But if this is it, as always, I appreciate you watching. Hope. Oh. It ain't over, motherfucker. You think that I'd pass up the opportunity to come on here and say something I've never said before, which is load 6? Are you kidding me? I'm like a fiend out here booking these loads. I told you when we left Moreno Valley, if they dropped one going from northern San Diego down to southern San Diego, of course I would take it, and that's what I'm here doing. Picking up an empty from DSD4, getting ready to run this down to either San 5 or San 3, I forget, but it doesn't matter because they're across the street from one another. By virtue of the fact that I'm in the little car, 2 things are true. 1, I did not get load number 7. 2, I'm tired AF. You know, you might hear I sleep until 3. That sounds fun and everything, but keep in mind, I've been up now for, it's 12:30. So, I mean, I'm 2.5 hours shy of hitting that 24-hour mark. So, I might sleep in, but I make up for it at night. If you're new to my content and you made it this far, hey, congratulations, you're hanging in there. I would hate for you to leave here thinking this is a typical local Amazon night. This is about, I usually make about half of this staying local. So this is definitely an outlier night. I'd hate for you to leave here thinking that like, oh, you know, $2,000+ a night is staying local. That's not quite, you know, check out some of my other stuff and you kind of get a better idea of like what things are usually in Southern California. But you know, the thing I'm probably the most proud of tonight was actually the relay bot. The relay bot, you know, when they were offering that load going to, and it's not like I won, but I kind of feel like I won. When they were offering that load going up there for like $5.50 or $5 something, and I said $6.50, they're like, they kind of like, I felt like it was nickel and diming me, trying to, it basically, it came within like $8 of what I was asking for. And it's like, if this were a person, they would have just given it to me. And that kind of pissed me off. And so then when they went up to like 6 something and I asked for $7.25, it was like, no, I'm sticking $7.25's it. And then, you know, sure enough, they ended up going up to, I think it was like $7.58, $7.59. Those $8.40 ended up costing them like $159 like 30 minutes later. So, I mean, it just, that's kind of like a small victory I'm taking out of tonight. It might be a stupid victory, but nonetheless, I'm leaving with it. Trying to think if there's anything else. Not the typical night, didn't get load 7. Love the little victory over the relay bot. I'm heading home and going to bed. Hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you taking the trip with me. Take care. What a your fork. Clean your fork off. We're gonna save this fork for later. Yes. And we're gonna throw this can away outside so it doesn't make the truck stink.